Okay, thank you very much, Rachel. More formal welcome to the programme. 4 minutes past 11. I'm in a rather excitable mood tonight.
You are a little bit,
one of those things. Had a lot of caffeine. And there's also a lot going on. I say I'm excitable. I'm a little bit down about Mansfield Town. I used to support them as a child. I went to a lot of games. We'll come on to that. But if you're frustrated, upset about what's happened, let's speak about it. We're doing conspiracy theories after midnight. There's one or two conspiracy theories doing the rounds in relation to Mansfield Town's fortune. We'll explain that later. Anyway, 0500 909 693. Tonight's trivial texter is this. It's very nearly midnight. This is 5 Live.
On DAB Digital Radio, Digital TV, downloads and online.
This is 5 Live.
It is midnight. I'm Richard Bacon. This is 5 Live, and welcome as well to listeners to BBC Local Radio. It's that time of the evening when our imaginations start working overtime. So my question between now and the end of the programme at 1 o'clock, is there ever any truth in conspiracy theories? 0500 909 693. Roswell, JFK, the moon landings, the death of Princess Diana, the 9/11 attacks. They've all generated mountains of musings as to who was responsible and why. Are any of them even vaguely plausible? Text me, 85058, or email bacon@bbc.co.uk. Let's take the latest BBC News right now. It's very nearly 1 minute past 12. Here's Rachel Hodges. Thank you. We're talking about conspiracy theories shortly. It's the perfect midnight chat, in my opinion. I'm thoroughly excited about it, and I've occasionally involved myself quite deeply in conspiracy theories. I don't mean I was part of a conspiracy theory. I was not the second shooter at JFK's assassination, although I believe there was a second one. But you
weren't even born then, so you couldn't have been.
Well, maybe there's another level of conspiracy theory. Maybe I'm not even human. Maybe I can travel back in time.
Good point.
I was going to make a joke about Mansfield there, but I'm not going to because I've had a rough night. Nonetheless, conspiracy theories, your views. Which ones do you believe? 0500 909 693 on the celebrity site. So it's 12:15. Let's start our conspiracy theory chat, and then we will have a quick look at the brand new newspapers, asking if there's ever any truth to conspiracy theories. 0500 909 693. Should we take any notice of them, or are they only ever speculative and even dangerous occasionally? Mike Ruddin is series producer of the Conspiracy Files. Hello, Mike.
Hi.
Good evening to you. Neil Denny is producer and presenter of a radio show called Little Atoms on a station in London called Resonance FM, and they have a little item on there where they debunk conspiracy theories. Hello, Neil.
Good evening, Richard.
Good evening to you. And Alex Jones joins us from Texas, from where his nationally syndicated radio show reaches millions. He's currently making a film about JFK, and he's been described in the past as the world's leading conspiracy theorist. Alex, hello to you.
Hello. If I can, before I get ganged up on by all 5 people, I would like to just make a statement. 3 years ago, I was called a conspiracy theorist because I had officers who were on board the ships from the Gulf of Tonkin to start Vietnam, admitting that it was staged. It has now been completely declassified, that the staged event got us into Vietnam, and the LBJ presidential tapes have been released with him staging it on the phone with the Secretary of Defense, Robert McNamara. That is not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact.
So just in case, for those that have been a little bit left behind, I know a degree about McNamara and LBJ, but what was that incident that was staged?
The Gulf of Tonkin in 1964, a staged attack on U.S. ships to blame it on the North Vietnamese and start the war. There are over 200 declassified examples of the U.S. government staging terror attacks and blaming it on their political enemies to start wars. We have declassified documents like Operation Northwoods, covered by Baltimore Sun, Associated Press, ABC News, headline on ABC News, U.S. government plan to bomb U.S. cities, terrorize U.S. cities as pretext for war with Cuba. So people saying it's a conspiracy theory, government lies all the time. They've staged terror attacks and provocateurs more often, that is funding idiot terrorists that don't even know what they're part of. They open the doors for them to carry out attacks to take our freedoms. That's what all of this is about. And Popular Mechanics and others have tried to debunk, but we've debunked them. They claim that NORAD never, in the year before 9/11 intercepted any planes, but we have their own documents saying they did it hundreds of times, and Reuters saying hundreds of times.
All right, you're running away with yourself a bit. Let's just deal with one thing at a time. I mean, Mike Rudin, that's astonishing stuff there that Alex was saying. Do you believe all that?
Yes, it is. I mean, well...
Do you believe the American government staged an attack on an American ship as a pretext to getting...
USS Liberty now declassified.
On USS
Well, no, I mean... Gulf of Tonkin is a good example of something where something wrong happened, and also Alex, hang on a sec, and also there's other cases, Watergate, there's Iran-Contra, where things actually happened, and
Do you believe that USS Liberty one?
Well,
that's now been completely declassified.
All right, Alex, we've heard a lot from you. Wait there.
The Gulf of Tonkin is an example where something untoward happened. Yes, it is.
The American government fakes an attack on the USS Liberty.
But the other things he mentioned aren't true.
That happened.
Well, look at the other things that you mentioned. Operation Northwoods, which is always used as a pretext for saying...
It's a green light operational plan. Frontlines reported that in the U.S.
Northwoods, who are you talking about? Which is basically...
He's going to claim that it was just a theoretical plan, but no, it was an operational...
It was never put into place.
Stop. You've got a level of knowledge about conspiracy theories that almost nobody else has. I don't know what the hell anyone is talking about.
This next move's going to be...
All right, but this USS Liberty thing, which... Alex, please wait! Okay, we'll come back to Alex in a bit. Neil Denny, I was going to deal with that USS Liberty thing, which I'd never heard of before. Incredible conspiracy theory, and that was done as a pretext to get America involved in the Vietnam War. Was it to get them to go bomb Vietnam? That's incredible. That actually happened.
It's a bit before my time, that one.
That happened. You debunked conspiracy theories. Do you believe it?
But I just want to bring up a couple of things that Mike mentioned. Watergate, for instance, and the Iran-Contra thing, and these are things that did happen, but what's interesting about these is they were found out, they were discovered. Journalists, investigative journalists, uncovered these things, they were revealed, people were punished. This isn't happening with all these other conspiracy theories. This is not happening with 9/11. Why are journalists not finding out about the 9/11 conspiracy?
I'd like to counter that.
Yeah, okay, Alex.
Go ahead, Alex.
Just briefly, and I'll behave myself, but I am being ganged up on here, so I want 50-50 time. Please,
No, you're not.
I want to be fair fight. I'll take on all 5 of you, but just fair fight. Look, just fair fight. Okay, no one did get in trouble. It was declassified on the 40th anniversary by the National Security Agency. I was giving you 2 separate events. There were 2 destroyers that had attacks staged that weren't real. They announced they'd been attacked with the Gulf of Tonkin. Then in 67, the U.S. and Israel tried to sink the USS Liberty to blame it on Egypt and start a war, and that has now been declassified.
Right. Oh, I see. Okay. I'm sorry for getting a bit behind on this, but nonetheless...
There's so many staged events, I know, it's hard to cover them all.
Well, here's what's interesting, Neil Denny, and you're not a big believer in conspiracy theories, and there are those people that kind of say, I don't believe in any. If the US government really is capable of staging those attacks on its own destroyers, kind of makes you think they must be capable of anything. I mean, that's incredible.
Well, this is true, but it's obviously on a much smaller scale.
Smaller scale? They staged a fake attack on their own destroyer.
I mean, the question is what exactly they did. And as with most things, it's a distortion of information and how things are described, rather than actually staging attacks and killing people.
Do you believe, yes or no, that they have staged events, the US government, to mislead their own public? Do you believe that has happened?
The governments do mislead, occasionally. What Alex was saying is that governments lie all the time, and that's sort of is the big issue here. That,
yeah, but
of course,
there's misleading, which can be a bit of spin, can be spinning the latest crime statistics.
They tend to occasionally distort things.
But we're talking about a bit of theatre here.
Well, they didn't. There's not. You don't find hardly any examples where the stage things and kill people. That's what Alex is suggesting does happen. It's what he's suggesting happened at Gulf of Tonkin isn't what happened, and it's not what happened in no evidence has been proven. It's things like 9/11 that they've actually used what he calls a false flag operation to kill people. So he's taking a step beyond. It's one thing to say people have distorted information, spun things, lied at times, but spun things. But it's another step.
I don't want to get too hung up on the Gulf of Tonkin because I don't really know anything about them until 3 minutes ago. But nonetheless, even though nobody may have died, they one way or another faked this attack. This happened. The government did that. They created the. You're sort of, to me, you're merging something extraordinarily deceitful with a bit of Alistair Campbell type spin. I mean, these are different things we're talking about.
Well, the things I know in detail about sort of the subjects I've looked at, 9/11 in particular, I don't know the Gulf of Tonkin in detail, so forgive me on that. Well, Alex, I'm sure, knows it in intricate detail, but I don't. But
do you accept my point that if the American government can stage something like that, then all sorts.
Well, it depends what exactly. I don't know. I haven't looked into it in real detail, so I don't know exactly the allegation is in that case. I know that there was distortion of information. Okay. How far it went, I don't know, and I think you need to look.
Alex, don't want you to butt in. Just come back when I invite you, and I'm inviting you now, Alex Jones.
Okay, I just timed it. They just had 2.5 minutes. I just want a minute.